What are the things that make a computer work? Well, one of them is obviously electricity, because without electricity, you might as well have a box of glass, plastic, and metals. So, we first need a power supply. This will convert AC electricity into usable DC. The motherboard is a circuit board that connects the important parts of a computer, like the CPU, RAM cards, and hard disks. It usually comes with a BIOS that allows the CPU to interact with the environment. It also has expansion buses for connecting peripherals to the rest of your computer. Can you imagine building a computer without a motherboard? You'd have a bunch of parts loosely connected by wires you've bought or salvaged from a broken light bulb. The CPU is the part of the computer that processes data and sends instructions to other parts of the computer. It is composed of three parts: the control unit, the arithmetic and logic unit, and the registers. The control unit is the part sending out instructions to the other parts of the computer. The arithmetic logic unit, or the ALU, is the part that does the calculations and comparisons to help the control unit decide what to do. The arithmetic parts can do 4 arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It can also perform logical operations. The registers are a temporary memory storage used for holding data that the control unit or the ALU will use. A RAM card is used for storing program data. It stores a lot of instructions and data that the CPU can read and instruct other parts of the computer to execute. Memory that is stored in RAM is volatile, meaning that it would lose its data if you turn the computer off. Hard disks are used for storing permanent data. This means that if power is cut, the data will not disappear. This is useful for storing things that you do not want to disappear whenever you turn a computer off, like images, documents, and programs. It is also where you store an OS. Peripheral devices are parts of a computer that are not necessary. That means that a computer can still run without them. But if you don't have any peripheral devices at all, you might as well have a warm box of wires. The graphics card is like a specialized circuit board that is responsible for the interaction between the computer and the screen. It contains a GPU, which is like an optimized CPU for drawing images and shapes. The sound card is a board used to connect the computer to audio devices such as speakers or microphones. Like the graphics card, it has its own processor for processing audio. Most, if not all, input devices are peripheral devices. A computer can run without a keyboard just as well as it would without a mouse. When you turn on a computer, it loads the BIOS. It does this by copying what's on the BIOS chip into the memory or RAM. Then it tests if your computer's hardwares are all working properly. When the test is completed, the BIOS looks for a bootloader, and when it's found, it executes it. The bootloader then loads the OS that you have installed. After that, you can use your computer like normal. What roughly happens when you run a program is, first, the program is loaded from your hard disk into the RAM. Second is the CPU reads it. Next, it interprets it and sends commands to other parts of the computers. And the other parts interpret it as well and decide what to do with it. When the program is over, It just unloads the data from RAM and the program terminates.
Hey guys, this video is sponsored by Nestle 100% fresh milk.